The Vex Imperium had reigned unchallenged for 3 centuries. Their warships, massive angular constructs of dark metal and crimson energy fields, had brought countless civilizations to their knees. System after system fell before their relentless advance, each conquest adding to their legend of invincibility. The pattern never varied: arrival, demands for surrender, and then merciless bombardment of any world that dared resist. Admiral Dorn, supreme commander of the Vex Armada, stood on the bridge of his flagship, gazing at the tactical display with cold satisfaction. 12 more planets had submitted this cycle alone, their resources now flowing into Vex storehouses, their populations reduced to servitude. Another message from the Galactic Council, Admiral, reported his communications officer. They beg for negotiation. Dorn's lipless mouth curved into what passed for a smile among his species. The same response as always, Lieutenant. We do not negotiate. We conquer. The Galactic Council, a loose alliance of spacefaring species, had proven entirely ineffective against the Vex advance. Their combined fleets had been decimated in the Battle of Proxima Centauri. Their diplomatic overtures were met with silence. Their economic sanctions meant nothing to an empire that simply took what it wanted. And then humanity entered the scene. Earth had remained oddly silent throughout the Vex expansion. A relatively young spacefaring civilization, humans had established colonies on Mars, Europa, and Titan, with outposts scattered through their solar system. They maintained diplomatic relations with the Council, but kept largely to themselves. The Vex had dismissed them as inconsequential, another primitive species to be subjugated when the time came. When the Vex fleet appeared at the edge of Sol system, the Council expected Earth to fall like all the others. Instead, humanity sent a single message to the Galactic Council. We'll handle this. What emerged from Earth's orbital shipyard stunned the Council observers. A single vessel, but unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Designated the ECS Thunderchild, the human battlecruiser was half the size of a Vex dreadnought, but radiated power readings that defied conventional analysis. Captain Thomas Reed stood on the Thunderchild's bridge, his weathered face illuminated by holographic displays. The crew, just 40 humans, worked with quiet efficiency at their stations. Reed had handpicked each one, veterans all, from Earth's various space forces. Engineering reports all systems nominal, Captain, said his first officer, Commander Jones. Shields at maximum, weapons hot. Reed nodded. Transmit our greeting to the Vex fleet. The message was brief. This is Captain Reed of Earth vessel Thunderchild. You are trespassing in protected space. Leave immediately or be destroyed. His flagship, Admiral Dorn, received the transmission with amused disbelief. One ship? The humans send one ship? His officers chittered with laughter. Move to crush this insult. 3 Vex cruisers broke formation, accelerating toward the solitary human vessel. Their weapon systems powered up, crimson energy building, along their hulls. They've taken the bait, Reed noted calmly. Tactical, prepare primary systems. The Thunderchild made no attempt to evade. It simply waited, engines glowing with a strange blue-white light as the Vex cruisers closed to firing range. When the lead Vex ship fired, something unprecedented happened. The energy beam, capable of cracking a small moon, struck an invisible barrier around the Thunderchild and simply vanished. No explosion, no shield flare. Just complete absorption. Reed allowed himself a small smile. Return the favor, please. What happened next would be recorded in a dozen languages across the galaxy. The Thunderchild's hull shifted, revealing what appeared to be a single, massive emitter. A pulse of blindingly bright energy lanced out, not as a beam but as a sphere that expanded to engulf all 3 Vex cruisers. When the light faded, the cruisers were gone, not destroyed, simply gone, as if they had never existed. Aboard his flagship, Admiral Dorn stared in disbelief. Impossible, he whispered. Then, louder, all ships, full attack formation, obliterate that vessel. The entire Vex fleet, 27 warships, converged on the Thunderchild. They fired everything in their arsenal: energy beams, graviton torpedoes, dimensional shredders. The space around the human vessel became a maelstrom of destructive forces. The Thunderchild moved then, not retreating but advancing directly into the heart of the Vex formation. Its strange drive left no exhaust trail, just a distortion in space itself. As it moved, it fired precise surgical strikes, not to destroy but to disable. One by one, Vex ships went dark, their power cores intact but somehow neutralized. Others found their weapon systems suddenly inoperable. A few simply drifted, their control systems scrambled beyond recovery. Admiral Dorn watched in horror as his invincible fleet was systematically disabled by a single enemy vessel. When the Thunderchild approached his flagship, he did what no Vex commander had done in 3 centuries. He surrendered. Captain Reed accepted the surrender personally, boarding the Vex flagship with a small team. He carried no visible weapons, protected only by what appeared to be a standard uniform. How? Dorn asked when they stood face to face. How could one ship— Not one ship, Reed corrected. One test ship, a prototype. We have 100 more. In production, Admiral. It was a bluff, of course. The Thunderchild was indeed the only vessel of its kind, incorporating technological breakthroughs humanity had kept secret for decades. But the Vex didn't need to know that. Within days, the Vex Imperium agreed to terms dictated by the Galactic Council, with humanity serving as guarantor. Their empire contracted to their original borders. Reparations began to former victim worlds. The galaxy breathed again. As for the Thunderchild, it returned to Earth orbit, its mission complete. Captain Reed submitted his report to the Human Defense Council. Demonstration successful. Recommend proceeding with Phase 2. The age of Vex terror had ended. The age of humanity had just begun. The galaxy watched, wondering what this meant for them all. Not conquest, as it turned out, but protection. For that was humanity's true strength. Not the technology that made the Thunderchild possible, but the will to stand against tyranny, even when standing alone.